Wow, what a crazy few days it's been for us Rangers fans. This completely caught me off guard because the Rangers haven't really been active in signing a big player out of free agency since I would argue 2014 when they signed Shin-Soo Choo. Since then, I honestly cannot tell you another big name free agent who just had a solid season and signed with the Rangers. I honestly can't. So, this was just surprising because when Chris Young came out after the season ended and say, "Hey, we're going to be spenders in the offseason," you can understand why I wasn't buying it because for all these years leading up to this, the Rangers ran their organization very cheaply. Signing like I would say since 2017, they've signed old players, claimed players off of waivers, signed a bunch of relievers, and just relied on a few good offensive players to just make for some product on the field. And the way the Rangers have rebuilded during that phase, rebuild, is through just trading relievers. You know, trading Chris Martin, Keone Kela, Corey Gearin, Rafael Montero. Just a lot of relievers were traded throughout this period. And, Joely Rodriguez too. So, the Rangers, after the 2021 season, after trading Joey Gallo, they've officially committed to this rebuild. But then, after the insufferable 2021 season, they come out and say this, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to see it to believe it. And I was thinking about posting a video about who I would want the Rangers to sign out of the free agent shortstops, and Marcus Semien was one of them. And wow, I mean, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect the way it happened because it was 7 years, $175 million. I was thinking that Marcus Semien is going to be paid $20 million, but you know, anytime you get into free agency with a competitive market, you're going to get a little bit above the salary. So 25 million. Perfect. This is a perfect contract, guys. And then, just to, add some weight to this, Cole Calhoun was signed. I like Cole Calhoun. He's honestly underappreciated. He has great defense, and he's just a serviceable player. And I think that's a great option to have in the Rangers outfield. A Rangers outfield that used to be crowded, but is now a little limited. So great signing for Cole Calhoun. But signing Jon Gray, I think this is a great signing, only because, I mean, can Jon Gray really pitch any worse than this? How he's pitched in Colorado the past couple seasons? I don't think so. In 2018, he had a great ERA for having the Coors effect. I think it was a 3.84 ERA in like 150 innings. That's great. Go over to the Globe Life Field where it's 72 degrees indoors. I think he should do better than what he's done in Colorado. So that's a great signing right there. And considering free agent pitching and how there's a certain market expected for it, I don't think it's a bad contract. It's 4 years, $54 million. And then I think it was the next day after this or the day after that where they signed Corey Seager to a 10-year, $325 million contract. Initially, I was like, oh my God, that's so much money. But at the same time, you have to think about this. There are like 5 free agent shortstops, after the World Series, and they're going to be getting their paydays. Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Javier Baez. I think Javier Baez got paid somewhere around $20 million, but Carlos Correa, he's going to be paid well over $30 million. So it's a big market. And Corey Seager, with his history at Globe Life Field, his knowledge, having Chris Woodward as a third base coach for a lot of his playing career in Los Angeles. I can't be mad at the signing. And at the same time, baseball fans are like saying, oh, that's all to just not make the playoffs next season. Now, let me just say this for both Rangers fans, excited Rangers fans, and just baseball fans in general. These players did not sign with the Rangers to win right away. The Rangers are not in a win-now state. Our farm system, I would argue, was our big selling point to these free agents because it has jumped many rankings since the trades of Joey Gallo, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson. Like, it's a culmination of trades. Even the Mike Minor trade. Josh Stowers. No, not Josh Stowers. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Marcus Smith is doing great right now. So, in the Rougned Odor trade even, getting Josh Stowers out of that, who just won some minor league award, I think, for, was it minor league player of the year for the Rangers organization? I gotta say, it's just unbelievable how much the Rangers have worked out in these trades and how much their prospect rankings have jumped. And the Joey Gallo trade was unbelievable because 3 out of the 4 prospects are dominating the minor leagues. Glenn Otto, being in the major leagues most of his Rangers tenure. So these prospects are not going to come up next year. Like Josh Jung, he could come up. He could get the starting spot at third this coming season. Sam Huff still in the mix of getting called up again. And then we got Steele Walker in the outfield. We got, trying to think of what his name is, Josh Smith, outfielder. Or no, I'm thinking of Trevor Hauver. Trevor Hauver is doing pretty good in the minor leagues. But there's just a lot of players in the mix of getting called up soon, and that's going to come in a few years. So the Rangers, I don't expect them to be over 500 next season. I think they're going to be barely below 500. Rangers fans, do not expect this team to just win right away. There's a reason why these players have signed long-term contracts so that they're around when the Rangers start to get better, when they start to perform, get in the playoffs. I think that's why these contracts were set the way they were. Because this is still a rebuilding process for the Rangers. They're still rebuilding. And there's a bunch of pitching prospects that are coming up soon too. We got Cole Winn. We got Glenn Otto, who still is still among the top ranked prospects. Cole Reagans, Jack Leiter, who I think he could even be called up next season. And we still got Taylor Hearn transitioning into a starting pitcher. And I can't think of his name right now. He was the pitcher in the Lance Lynn trade. He had his rookie season, still has time to develop. So you have all these pitching prospects, all these position player prospects that are going to be coming up soon. And that's just going to be it's going to take some time for all these prospects to come up. So that is why these contracts were made the way they were. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for this team. We have a middle infield that is established. Like I say, I feel bad for Justin Foscue because he's dominated the minor leagues, but now his job is kind of taken by Marcus Semien. But hey, third base is open. But Josh Jung's most likely going to take that, so I don't know. Now, what could make me even more satisfied for the future of this team? 2 things. Clayton Kershaw is still in the mix of signing with the Rangers. I think that would be great because the reason he wears 22 is because of Will Clark. So he was a Rangers fan growing up. What better place to be than in Texas? And trading for Joey Gallo. I would love Joey Gallo back. I think it is unfair that as soon as he's traded, the Rangers start to make moves. I want Joey Gallo to be a part of this team. So I really want the Rangers to sign him at the latest after the 2022 season, because that's when he's a free agent. So I want those two things to happen. Sign Clayton Kershaw this offseason, then sign Joey Gallo at the latest after the 2022 season. And I'm pretty satisfied with this roster. But Rangers fans, be excited that we got some solid players. But at the same time, be patient. Trust the process.